everyone, and welcome back to another episode of How Have We Never Seen This Before? This week, we watched Stepbrothers.
Join us as we discuss how we watched two entirely different movies, our adventures as roommates in Australia, and that time we had a band. This is a podcast where two best friends talk about movies they've never seen before.
I'm Isabel.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is How Have We Never Seen This Before? This week's winner of our Guess the Movie contest is actually the winner of our very first Guess the Movie contest, our friend Michaela DLC. So congrats, Michaela. And if you want to be the winner of our Guess the Movie contest and be featured at the beginning of our episode, make sure to follow us on Instagram at How Have We Never Podcast.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
Today has been quite the day.
Quite a day.
We haven't even started recording yet. Oh my goodness. So, today we're talking about the best movie of all time. No, I'm kidding. Today we're talking Today we're talking about Stepbrothers with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
Yes, indeed we are.
We really needed a break from sad or dramatic movies after The Joker last week, so we picked the least serious movie of all time.
Mm-hmm. And I think that we were right.
Right about, like,
It
what?
is like the least serious movie of all time.
Yeah, I'd love to, like, be inside their brains and understand how they come up with it.
This is, no offense, but the work of boys.
Oh, yeah. I don't think, I mean, maybe someone can take offense to that, but I don't know. It's just the truth.
It really is. This is boy humor. I'm sorry, but
you picked it.
I know, because, okay, I should have known, because my brothers are always like, ooh, you need to watch Stepbrothers.
Oh, really?
It's the funniest movie ever. I'm like, okay, you really hyped it up, because my brother's a film major, so, like, I thought he would pick a fantastic, funny movie.
Well, we were talking about this earlier, but it's just, like, it's hard when you want to watch movies that you're meant to just, like, forget about the world around you when you're watching them and just, like, laugh at the movie.
Yeah. There are some movies that you're supposed to be able to just immerse yourself in, and this is one of them. Just forget about everything else and be in the movie. But it's really hard to enjoy a movie like that when you have to analyze it and take notes on everything. So I feel like I'm floating above the movie, looking in on it instead of just being in the moment.
Yeah. It's still just good to talk about it.
Yeah. We get to chat.
Have a chat.
Come here, have a chat with me.
Maybe we
In every episode so far, I've done a horrible accent.
We should watch, like, Love Island as, like, review Love Island.
Do you have good chat?
I miss it.
Okay, should we get into it?
Let's get into it. So, again, before the movie begins, there's a quote on the screen. I don't know how you felt about this quote, but it says, "Families is where our nation finds hope, where wings take dream." And it is a quote from our glorious former president, George W. Bush.
Yeah.
You like George Bush as much as you like Joan Didion?
I can't say I do, actually.
Well, anyway, after this quote disappears from the screen, we see a man, I want to call him a boy, making nachos. And, like, that's how we make nachos. Whenever you and I go to a concert and then we come back and it's 1 a.m, we make nachos just like Dale does.
Microwave nacho time. When I was a freshman in college, my friends and I thought we discovered microwave nachos. Like, we actually thought that we discovered them, but that's been a thing since microwaves were around, so really, really dumb. Oh, and also, A Punk by Vampire Weekend's playing at this point.
Yes, I wrote great song. I couldn't remember what song it was.
It is a great song.
Basically, we see these two men and they're asking their parents for money for pizza or like whatever because their parents are going to a conference. I was just like, I hope this isn't us when we're older because we don't have jobs.
Why? Why did you have to say that? That was not my thought at all.
That was my thought. I'm concerned for my future.
Listen, you think we could end up like them?
I don't know.
Bruh.
It's a
I don't know.
possibility.
Okay, I don't even want to think about that possibility. So therefore I will be moving on to my next point, which
Oh,
is that the mom from Elf is in this movie with Will Ferrell.
she's also the mom from The Proposal.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I love that movie. So good.
That is a great movie.
But so we see the parents, they are going to a conference or something. It's about, they're talking about cochlear implants. Not that it's important to the movie at all. The dad is making a presentation and there's like a light just on, like a spotlight on the mom who's sitting in the crowd, and she's wearing like light blue while everyone else is in black, and he just stares at her. And then they go to their room and they hook up, and they're talking about how they both have sons that are 40 years old and they still live at home. Fun times.
Okay, my eye is now twitching after you made that point.
What point?
The point about us being them.
It's not gonna happen, hopefully.
I hope not. So then it cuts to the wedding between Nancy and Robert. We don't know how long they dated for, but it's not long at all. They kind of rushed into it.
Yeah, I'd say probably like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And the one thing though, I would not even guess that that mom's like 50. Like maybe she's 50.
Yeah.
And she has a 40-year-old son. But that would be crazy.
I feel like she's older than 50.
But
Like,
not
she
like,
doesn't look like it, but she is.
well, she probably is, but I couldn't, like, she doesn't look like it at all.
I
It just makes
guess.
hard to believe, but that's not like that important.
That's Hollywood for you. That's showbiz, baby.
But yeah, so at the wedding, they announced that that the mom and her son, whose name is Brennan, are going to be moving in with the dad and his son, whose name is Dale. And Brennan is sitting in the back seat while his mom drives him to the new house. And like, can you imagine forcing your mom? It's like basically making her your Uber driver and you're in the back of the seat or in the back seat.
I know. That's really messed up. The way that they treat their parents is just awful, considering that they mooch off of them for everything.
Like I get like what Dale's mom died and Brennan's parents got divorced and like relying them on them a bit more, but like they treat them so terribly.
Yeah. I also think, like, maybe when you're that age, you should have other people to rely on as well. Like, perhaps a significant other,
Or just a friend.
or maybe one friend.
Yeah, it doesn't, they don't appear to have any friends.
I mean, they're not nice people, so who would want to be friends with them?
Yeah, and they don't really do anything, I guess, so why would they have friends?
Yeah.
So they show up at the, I is it like Robert? I think that's the dad.
Yeah. Brennan and Nancy finally get to Robert's house, and
Right.
they're immediately greeted by their blind neighbor. And this was really distasteful. Like, why did this need to be added into the movie at all?
I don't know. I think it had to do with like the dog later or something.
Yeah, but like, many people have a dog. They could have just.
Yeah, I don't know.
It came across very ableist. And I know that someone's going to listen to this podcast and be like, "Ugh, don't be so sensitive," but it's really messed up, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
like you're not supposed to take it that seriously, but like I understand.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
And it also like perpetuates the stereotype that blind people go around touching people's faces, which is not true.
yeah. But besides that, when Dale and Brennan finally meet, like Brennan finally gets out of the car, he like walks up to Dale and is like, "Yeah, I'm Brennan," and Dale's like, "I'm Dale, but you have to call me Dragon," and he's like, "Well, you have to call me Nighthawk." And then they go inside to eat dinner, and the mom, I don't know her name.
Nancy.
Oh, Nancy. Nancy asks Dale what he does. Like, does he have a job? Like, what are his hobbies? He's like, well, I manage a baseball league. And she's like, oh, like Little League? He's like, no, it's a fantasy baseball league.
Meanwhile, they're eating chicken nuggets and French fries, while Robert and Nancy are eating like fish and green beans, something like that.
I mean, you can never go wrong with chicken nuggets and French fries, or vegan chicken nuggets and French fries.
Veggie nuggets.
It just
Those
sounds
are really
good.
good.
Okay, sure.
They are.
I'll try them sometime.
Okay.
And then Brennan or Robert asks Brennan if he has any or no, what happened? Well, anyway, Brennan says that he's a good singer, but his mom explains that he only sings in front of particular people because of something that happened with. Oh wait, that comes up later. Brennan is a good singer, but he only sings in front of particular people. And then Dale starts to sing. He's like, yeah, I can sing really well too. And then he ends up making fun of Brennan, and Brennan starts to cry. And Robert tells them that because Dale won't give up his drum set office, him and Brennan have to share a room. So Dale takes Brennan up to show him the room. And first they go into the drum set room, which Dale calls his beat laboratory.
And he also explains this. He's talking about some crazy rules that he has. And Brennan and no one else is allowed to touch his drum set. It's very important that no one touches his drum set.
You don't ever, ever, ever touch my drum set. And then we see Robert and Nancy in bed, and we find out that his dream and kind of both of their dreams is to sail across the world. And Nancy asks Robert why Dale never left. And he said, well, he coasted off of all of my accomplishments and he wanted to get into the family business after he quit college his junior year, but his dad is a doctor. And then Nancy tells Robert why Brennan never left, and it's because of this prank his brother played on him in high school, pretty much. It just kind of humiliated him, I guess.
Yeah, he was performing on stage, and his brother and his friends replaced the choir with themselves and started making fun of him.
Yeah, and then everyone in the audience joined in, and even the mom joined in a little bit.
Yeah.
And then his brother Derek won the talent show because he lip synced, lip
Yeah.
lip synced Ice Ice Baby. And then we see Dale and Brennan in their room together, and they're like, "Hey, are you awake?" And that was us when we lived together.
It was us, except we didn't talk about how much we hated each other.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to happen because at first I wrote like, "Oh, that was us," but then they were like, "I hate you, I hate you."
Yeah.
We were good roommates.
We were good roommates. I miss rooming with you.
Except we didn't have a lot of space to do activities.
No, if only we had a bunk bed. Just like them.
But basically, it ends with them threatening each other before they fall asleep.
Then you get into some sort of pranking montage between Brennan and Dale. Starts off with they're on the sailboat, and Dale kicks Brennan into the water, and then he draws an I Heart Crystal Meth shirt. Or he draws I Heart Crystal Meth on Brennan's shirt. And then, if you would like to explain the next one.
Oh, okay. I don't know how he does this. Like, I don't know how you wouldn't wake up to this, but Brennan, like, does very intricate effects, makeup effects on Dale's face and, like, puts a giant scar, like a bloody scar on his forehead.
He's honestly pretty talented.
Yeah, he's really talented at that. And, like, I guess Dale never looks in the mirror or something. So he, like, walks around the town the next day with that on his face. But the final prank, Brennan goes into the Beat laboratory and he plays on the drum set very loudly and just like hits everything, but then nothing happens. Like, Dale must not be home when this happens. So we see Dale come home and Brennan is laying on the couch and he's like, I was watching Cops all day, like that's why I'm so sweaty. And Dale goes upstairs and goes into the drum set room and he measures exactly where each of the drums are. And I guess they're all in the right place, except for he sees that the drumsticks, one of them has a chip in it. Which, like, those drumsticks, I played drums for a while, and my sticks were so chipped up. Like, I mean, it wasn't that great. Maybe, I don't know. But,
I
like,
thought you were good.
thank
You're
you.
really good.
But, like, my sticks were so chipped up. Like, there's no way there would only be one chip. Or, like, he wouldn't even be able to notice because there'd be so many on there already.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He also knows that Cops doesn't start until 4. So Brennan couldn't have been spending all day watching Cops.
Yeah. He like, when he goes to confront him, he's like, I know you touched my drumstick because there's a chip in it, and like, I know you weren't laying here all day watching Cops because it doesn't start until 4. And then Brennan goes up to the drum set and he starts to play them again, and then Dale attacks him. And
That's how you want to say it.
well, what else do you want to say?
He.
Well, okay, also, I was watching this on Freeform, so I don't know if anything was cut out.
Wait, you don't know?
No!
That's so funny. Wait, you actually did not see the scene that I saw.
No,
then.
I must, like, I forgot about that because, like, a lot of things were, like, the words were different. Like, there was an entire part where everything was dubbed. So.
Oh my god.
I must have
You did
missed.
not watch the same movie as me then. Okay, well, I'll actually inform you then.
Okay.
That means that I have to say what I'm about to say.
We'll mark this one as explicit.
Yeah. So Brennan goes back up to the drum set and starts rubbing his
I can beep it out.
his testicles. Why can't I say that word? Oh my god, I'm immature. And he starts, doing that to the drum set. And you didn't see that, right?
No, I did not see that at all.
Wait, backtracking? Did you see what his brother was singing when he was up on stage?
Yeah, that was in there.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know how they chose to cut things out.
Okay, let me know if there's any other places where you think that, like, maybe it was dubbed.
Okay.
But yeah, so then right after that, Dale starts choking Brennan with the headphones. And so then something happens. They get pushed into the wall, they roll down the stairs, and now they're outside fighting.
Oh, but before that, his drum room is covered in soundproofing. I was thinking of, because clearly I missed a huge part of this, but like where my mind was at that time was, do you remember when we had our band room and we had to pay for all that soundproofing because no one else wanted to like house our band?
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah. We were put in the basement of our like arts building.
And the basement is like actually known for being haunted and really creepy. Probably
Yeah.
has asbestos in it.
Oh, I'm sure. And we pretended to be a ghost one time, but
Yeah, we scared people.
yeah. So when they're while they're fighting before they roll outside also, I thought it was really funny when Brennan was hitting the bass pedal of the drums and it kept hitting him in the head, hitting Dale in the head.
That was funny.
But once they roll down the stairs and like break the wall from rolling down the stairs and they're outside, the neighbor's dog comes and attacks Brennan, which I guess is the only reason they had the blind man and the dog in the movie or something.
Why
Um,
can't you just have a guy and his dog?
yeah, I don't know. But the dad gets or Robert gets a call from Nancy like being hysterical because this fight is going on. And when he gets home, we see Nancy with a hose just like trying to I don't know, try and separate them with it.
And
And
the whole neighborhood has gathered at this point. Everyone's
yeah,
watching.
they're like cheering on the fight. And then one of them has a golf club and the other one has a baseball bat and then they hit each other and like knock each other out with them. But once they come to, Robert says that both of them need to get a job within a month or they're kicked out. And they also need to fix the drywall, which they broke when they rolled down the stairs. And they also are grounded with no TV for a week. And then they're sent to bed.
Yes. Okay, so then we cut to them sleepwalking. Apparently, they both sleepwalk all the time and just destroy the house. They completely rip up the kitchen.
I don't know how the
Um,
parents didn't hear it.
yeah, I have no idea. They're kind of oblivious. So then the next morning, Nancy and Robert come downstairs and notice that the kitchen is absolutely destroyed. And they know that it is both of their sons because one leaves a purse in the refrigerator and the other one
Mhm.
leaves couch pillows in the oven.
That's like, I've never experienced a sleepwalker really.
Yeah,
So is that like normal?
I was about to ask you that. Do people like do crazy things when they sleepwalk?
Like I know you're not supposed to wake people up, but I don't know if people like put things places.
What happens in a realistic situation when you wake someone up if they're sleepwalking? Like, what are the effects? Because the movie kind of exaggerated that.
I think it actually can be dangerous because they don't know where they are. They don't know who you are right when you wake up. Like I don't like maybe they're depending on whatever they were dreaming, there could be some sort of fight or flight thing, and if maybe they're near stairs or whatever. But I don't think it's like what they do. I don't think it goes to that extreme. But I think
That's
like
what I
they're
figured.
right about some aspects of it.
Hmm.
But then when they wake up, Brennan and Dale the next morning, we find out that Brennan's brother Derek is coming to visit today. We see Derek in the car with his wife and two children, and they start singing a cappella. I just I just wrote I hate them. They're so
I
pretentious.
love the sun.
Oh my god.
The song that
It,
they're singing is Sweet Child of Mine, and it's probably the most iconic part of the movie, like most memorable, I think.
really?
I don't know. I feel like I see that clip on TikTok all the time, and it also like has a sound too.
I've seen the clip of the drum set. Like I don't know why I knew that. I knew about the drum set. I knew they fought over the drum set.
Um, I guess this movie is just well known all around.
But so they while they're singing, they each get like a little solo, and when he points to the mom Alice, he's like, "You're flat. Like stop singing. Like I pay $1,200 a week for lessons, and you're flat." Like, um. So the dad, Derek, then is he's like, "I'll save it with this solo," and then he's like driving crazily because he's not paying attention, but he just keeps singing. And then they're at the house, and Derek's telling this story about I don't know what. But the dad gets mad at Dale when Dale asks a question about Derek's story, and he's like, "Why do you keep interrupting?" Like because it's like the dad's like in love with Derek because Derek's everything that he wishes Dale or Brennan would be. But Brennan's not even at the table for dinner. He's in the treehouse out back. So then Dale's upset with Derek and his dad, and so he goes out there. And Derek is talking to Robert about how he could sell their house right now and they could leave and go on the boat. So Robert really takes that to heart. But then Derek goes into the treehouse too, and he's like making fun of Dale and Brennan. I don't remember how this happened, but like he shows them his abs, but they're very clearly not his abs.
His fake abs.
And he's like, "Oh, you look like you want to punch me in the face." And then he's like, "Just punch me." And then Dale punches Derek in the face and he falls out of the treehouse, which was great.
He also calls them the F slur the entire movie, and it's
I
so
think that was
annoying.
cut out.
Oh, really? Yeah, they must have said it at least 10 times. And I just think, like, that's just such a lazy way of trying to be funny.
Yeah, I think we experienced slightly different movies.
Yeah. Well, I watched a more offensive version, I think. And, like, maybe it wasn't, maybe people weren't so offended by that word, like, back in 2008 or so, whenever this movie was released. But I feel like nowadays, like, I'm glad that they took that part out because hearing it is, like, kind of weird these days. And I think
Yeah.
it's just such a lazy way of trying to be funny because saying an awful offensive word is not really that funny.
Yeah, I always wonder like how movies like this would do now. I don't think they'd even be written. I don't think they'd make it past whatever phase 1 of producing a
Yeah.
movie.
And like I think that if your comedy is just like you trying to be offensive, for example, I was watching this movie reviewer review like one of Shane Dawson's movies, and he thought that comedy, like Shane Dawson thought that comedy was just like how outrageous and how offensive you could be. Like take every joke and just maximize it to offensive.
Yeah.
And I feel like that like kind of stunts like your creativity because if you can make a funny movie that doesn't offend anyone, I feel like that is the true testament to your humor.
I don't know what I would consider to be a funny movie that wouldn't offend anyone. I haven't been offended by movies, but that doesn't mean someone else hasn't, you know? But I don't know what I would even pick right now. Yeah. So after Derek gets punched in the face, they're going to leave, but before they leave, Derek's wife comes up to Dale and is like, "Thank you for punching Derek in the face. My life sucks. I hate him." And is like turned on by Dale, which is disgusting. And they have the most disgusting kiss in the world. Dale's just kind of standing there and Alice is going at it.
Yep.
And then she gives Dale her phone number before she leaves. But now that Dale's hit Derek, Brennan and him are friends. Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly. They finally have someone new to hate and like bond over because of
Yeah.
their hatred.
So then they like show each other their prized possessions, and Brennan has a sword that is signed by Randy Jackson. Well, there's like a smudge on it that is Randy Jackson's signature, and Dale has night vision goggles, which is actually kind of cool. But
yeah, that is cool.
then they start naming things at the same time.
The first thing is name like your favorite dinosaur, and they go 3, 2, 1. They both say Velociraptor. Which is like not even a real dinosaur.
It's not?
I'm pretty sure a Velociraptor was created by the Jurassic Park franchise.
Really?
Let me look that up just in case I sound stupid. Everything you know about Velociraptors is a lie.
Okay, so I guess it isn't real.
Velociraptors were actually only about... so there was a species called a Velociraptor, but they're actually only about the size of a domesticated turkey.
Oh, okay.
And they looked like a turkey, but with a long tail. And they were like a bird.
I think in the later, like the newer Jurassic Park movies, I think they get them accurately then.
The verdict on Velociraptors is that the name existed, but those dinosaurs did not.
At least how we generally know them.
Yeah.
So after they're like naming all these things, then they go to do karate in the garage. And Robert is getting scared that they're starting to like each other. So Dale and Brennan come into their parents' room and are like, can we turn our beds into bunk beds?
Wait, I think you missed a part.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did you have like the measurement in there?
No.
Oh, so why do I have to explain the awkward parts? Okay. Um so it also in the montage shows them having a sword fight. That's all I'll say. And then they also compare lengths. That's also all I'll say.
Oh my god, okay. So I guess after all that, then they asked to turn their beds into bunk beds?
Yes,
Okay.
precisely.
So they're like, you know, you're adults, right? You don't have to ask us to do this. And they're like, we want to have more room to do activities. And I was just like, can you imagine how many more activities we could have done if we had bunk beds?
I was literally picturing our space in Urban Nest. Urban Nest was the building that we lived in Australia. But I was picturing like what our room would look like if we put our beds on bunk beds.
I think would have been so fun.
What would we have done?
I don't know. I don't know. It would sort of been more fun.
We could turn it into a dance floor.
And we could have those girls that lived next to us hating us even more.
True.
So they build the bunk beds out of hockey sticks and whatever other wood they could find, I guess. So then they go to get into the beds, and Dale goes to the top bunk. And as soon as he gets on, it falls apart and crushes Brennan. And Dale's like running into their parents' room. He's like, "There's blood everywhere," and there's like a scratch. And that's it.
And the dad, Robert, he's like, bro, your interview is tomorrow. You guys should probably get ready for that.
Yeah. So they have interviews for jobs so they don't get kicked out. And the next day, the dad's like, yeah, you can just use my clothes. Just please get a job. So they both get dressed in tuxes and sneakers, which could work as a look, but not the sneakers they were wearing. And not to a job interview.
Like Seth Rogen said, maybe if you're trying to be ironic.
Yeah. So first they go, I don't know, what the first job interview was for like a janitor's job, and they interview as a team. So Brennan's in and then Dale's sitting behind him, and he just can't say her name, which is Pam. And then with the second interview, they're like, why don't we interview you instead of you interviewing us? And they're just like, so how much money do you make in a year pre-tax?
At the next interview, the interviewers reviewing their references, and Brennan put Jesus Christ as his reference. Same.
The interviewer is also Seth Rogen at the third interview. And I don't really know what it is.
I think there was one before that.
There were
Before
four?
Seth Rogen, yeah.
Oh.
I don't think Seth Rogen talks about Jesus.
The last interview is Seth Rogen. And he's like, he thinks it's ironic that they have on the tuxes, and he thinks it's funny that they're interviewing as a team. But then Dale has the longest fart in the world. And then he's like rethinks it and is like, you know what? Never mind. I realize now that your tuxes weren't supposed to be ironic. So their interviews all go bad. And then as they're walking home, they decide that they're just going to pick their own career.
Vroom vroom.
And they're going to start their own entertainment company called Prestige Worldwide. And they're like, let's get to work. But before they can get to work, they have to get home. But they can't go down the one street right now because Dale gets beat up on that street around this time of day. But Brennan is like, we gotta go, you gotta face your fears. So the people that beat Dale up are a group of middle schoolers.
Once again, the use of the F slur is so annoying and not funny. That's my opinion.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Not that I was ignoring it or anything, it just wasn't in my movie.
No, but I'm glad that they took it out because it's very insensitive to use that.
Yeah. So when they get there, they're like making fun of both Brennan and Dale, and then they start to beat them up because Brennan won't lick a dog turd that's on the ground. So the kids like ride a seesaw and like Dale and Brennan are either like underneath the seats of either end, and like the kids like hit them in the face with the seesaw, and then they make Brennan lick the dog turd, and then they basically just get beat up. Finally, they make it back home, and the mom is like just don't go down that street anymore. And their dad is furious for the interviews. And it turns out that Derek is at the house and Ice Ice Baby starts playing. And then they find out that their parents are selling the house to sail around the world. And from what I could tell, it seemed like the dad like pretty much forced the mom into it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like she wanted to do it right away.
Yeah. But so he's like, we're going to give you the money for a security deposit at an apartment, and we're also going to give you the money to go to therapy. So you're getting kicked out.
It's nice to see someone finally in these movies getting help through therapy.
Yeah, but it's not like good.
I guess. If only this were the end of Black Swan.
So then it's that night, and Brennan is like practicing with his sword signed by Randy Jackson how to kill Derek because it's all Derek's fault. And then they're like, prestige worldwide is the only thing that can save our family. But Dale's like, Brennan, you have to sing for me. So Brennan sings for Dale, and then Dale starts crying because it's so good. They're like, we've got to make a music video. And we have to, and like, this music video is going to fix everything, and we got to do something about Derek and him selling this house. So the next we see, they're at therapy. Or not.
Yeah, there's a scene that Freeform must have cut out there.
Yep.
So basically, Brennan is dressed up like a member of... No, Brennan's dressed up like a Nazi, and Dale is dressed up like a member of the KKK. And immediately they scare off the first potential buyers.
And then they're at therapy.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Dale's like telling the therapist that his life story, which is a story of Goodwill Hunting, and then Brennan's like has a different therapist and is talking to him about her about when his parents got divorced, and then he's like, I love you to the therapist. And then the next thing they do is like pretend that Dale killed Brennan when another group of homebuyers comes in, and he's like wrapped in a shower curtain.
Well, they also try to blame it on potential asbestos.
Asbestos?
Yeah.
You said asbestos.
Well, I never know how to say it. I feel like I always say asbestos, but then I hear people say asbestos.
It's asbestos. So they also blame it on asbestos. So then we're at Derek's birthday dinner, and they're just like all of Derek's like awful friends are there, but Dale ends up going to the bathroom, and Alice corners him there, and then forces him pretty much.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, to have sex with her, and then she pees in the urinal.
Yeah, this scene made me so uncomfortable because Dale didn't really give his consent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he said he really likes her, so after that.
Yeah, it was just weird.
So I guess if that's what he wants, then that's fine.
Anyway, moving on. So then Dale and Brent, when they come back, they say that they have an announcement for the family, and this is like their birthday present to Derek. They're like, this opportunity is your birthday present. So they show them the presentation that they made for Prestige Worldwide, and then they show them the music video that they have created, which super cool. But they end it by smashing their dad's boat into the coastline, and it's completely destroyed.
Yes. The music video is called Boats and Hoes.
So the parents, then they're going home and the parents are arguing in the car about the boat, and Nancy's saying how Robert's not supportive of their kids, and he calls them a failure, or calls them failures, and it's not looking good for the family.
Especially their marriage.
Yeah, so then we see that it's Christmas Eve, and instead of spending time with them on Christmas Eve, the dad leaves and he's like, I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory to drink.
Who does that?
I don't know.
I feel like you go to the Cheesecake Factory to have some dank food.
Some large portions of some...
To clog your arteries.
Yeah. So when he gets home, Nancy's like, you smell like scotch and cheesecake. And then the boys sleepwalk into the room, and they're like dragging in all the Christmas presents and like throwing them around. Nancy's like yelling at Robert, like, don't wake them up, like you're gonna harm them or yourself. But he doesn't care, he wakes him up anyway. They throw him down the stairs and he breaks the wall again. Yeah.
Yep. I don't know if that's quite what happens when people sleepwalk and you wake them up, but okay.
Yeah, like maybe if you're right by the stairs, but I think that's where you draw the line. But then it's Christmas Day, and at dinner, the parents announce that they're separating and getting a divorce. And I don't know how long it's been. Like, has it even been a year? I don't really know how to judge the timeline of this. But the mom is saying how she doesn't blame the kids, like it's not their fault, but the dad is like, this is all their fault.
Yeah.
And the boys are crying. I wrote boys. The boys are crying, and then like,
oh, I wrote boys too.
Then Dale's crying so hard he throws up, and then it's maybe the next day, like somewhere within maybe a few weeks, and they're selling the house. And
wait,
did I miss some? Did I not have something?
You missed the whole oh my god. So you missed Alice and Dale's rendezvous?
I definitely didn't have that.
Oh my god. Of course I have to explain this. Okay, so basically while they're sitting at the table, Alice writes with her food. She said me right now. And basically they both get up at the same time to go do something, but like they're having sex. And then they're in the middle of like having sex in the next room, and everyone can hear what's going on. And the door
This was not in my movie at all.
The door flies open, and Dale is inside of Alice.
Oh my god.
They're just standing there, like she's in the front, he's in the back, and they're like frozen in time, just like standing there. Like everyone's like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, I was giving her a massage." And so they're just like standing there, like meanwhile he's still inside of her. And then they like back away slowly, close the door, continue having sex, and then the door flies open again, and she's like in his arms doing it that way. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just showing her this yoga pose," and everyone believes him.
What?
You didn't see any of that?
I didn't see any of that.
Okay, and then the son, like the youngest son, says that he got a Bowflex for Christmas. And the daughter says that she wants breast implants for Christmas. Yeah. Also funny how it's another Christmas movie.
Wow, my movie must have been a lot shorter than yours.
Yeah, mine was like an hour 45 minutes.
I think that mine was only like an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh.
Well,
so that
anyway.
happened.
So then they're selling the house. And the boys need to leave by tomorrow. So they eat whipped cream for dinner on paper plates. And then they go to bed. But none of their stuff is packed or anything. I was like, how could you possibly move by tomorrow? And the boys start arguing about like all of this. And then Brennan like goes to the drum set. And Dale hits Brennan on the head with a cymbal, and it seems like he passes out, and then Dale's dragging Brennan outside to bury him in the yard. But then Brennan wakes up and starts to bury Dale instead, and like completely covers him. And then he like pops out of the ground, and they start fighting again, and they just like fall asleep in the yard.
So then the next day they wake up and they decide that they're going to make a plan to get their parents back together. And so
No, they separate.
yeah, so they don't decide to do this together. They decide to do it on their own.
Yeah, okay.
So Brennan asks for a job from Derek and gets employed. And he also asks his therapist how to be a grown up, which might need some tips on that one too. And they both get apartments, and Dale also gets a temp job for a catering agency working with fire.
And honestly, they become like actual adults.
Yeah.
Like pretty quickly.
Yeah, so maybe if they just had some sort of discipline, not like discipline, but
if they just tried.
Yeah, maybe if they had consequences for their behavior from the beginning, they would have been adults 20 years ago.
Yeah. So it's like several weeks, maybe a couple months. I'm not really sure. But Brennan is talking to one of his superiors at where Derek works, and he's like, I want the Catalina wine mixer. Like, I can handle it. Like, let me have it. And it's like it's a mixer where they talk about helicopters. Like Derek owns a helicopter leasing business or something.
Yeah.
Right. So he gets it, and so Dale is working at the catering company. Like he hired Dale's catering company for it, and the singer, the band that's there is like a Billy Joel cover band, and everything is pretty much set up so that the parents get back together.
Yeah, the parents are both invited.
Yeah. So then Dale and Brennan are talking in front of their parents, and like saying all their adult things, like their adult thing. I don't know.
They sound normal.
They sound normal. And the parents like realize why everything's happening. And then we see that the cover band singer is getting upset because this guy is making requests, but they only do Billy Joel covers from the 80s. And they can't, he's like, no, like we're not doing that. And he gets escorted off the stage by security, and then because this happens, Derek fires Brennan, and Robert, their dad, is like, you need to go up on the stage and perform, like you can do this, like no one's there right now, but I see a drummer and a singer, like you both can do this. But Brennan is too scared, so Dale goes alone and starts playing drums, and Derek starts making fun of him. But then Brennan works up the courage to go on stage and sing.
The dad, Robert, he gave them a pep talk by saying, like, I used to be obsessed with dinosaurs when I was...
So weird.
he was like, I used to be obsessed with dinosaurs when I was a kid. Up until I was 17, I would just always walk around the neighborhood pretending to be a dinosaur. And my dad told me to stop and get a job. And so he lost his dinosaur, meaning that he doesn't know how to have fun. He doesn't know how to be weird. And then he said to his sons, don't lose your dinosaur. And I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah.
Basically saying always be yourself.
Honestly, I think that dad should get one of those blow-up dinosaur costumes and just walk around.
That would be good for him.
So, yeah, so then once Brennan goes up and starts singing, he's singing opera or something.
He's singing Por Ti Volare. Why do I know that? I don't know.
So basically everything just starts to work out. The therapist is there for some reason. She's like shows up and she like realizes that she loves Brennan, and then Derek realizes that he loves his brother, and then the parents realize that they love each other again. Alice loves Dale, and everything's working out. Yes. And then Alice like meets Dale at some like overlook and is like, I want to be with you. Like,
we kind of missed a little bit.
Oh, you go.
Okay. So they end the Catalina wine mixer performance by everyone saying the iconic quote, it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. And so Derek has this epiphany where he decides to be a good guy now, or is trying, and Derek and Brennan engage in an awkward hug. And it reminds me of our hug. We talked about this last time, right?
Maybe during Booksmart
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys know the drill about our hugging.
or
It's
lack
awkward.
thereof.
It's like once a year. So then after the awkward hug, Brennan's therapist comes up to the family and she says that she was legally obligated to come because of some scary stuff that Brennan was saying. And he introduces her as his girlfriend. She's like, "No, I'm not. I'm your therapist." And then, yes, so now we get up to the Alice part.
Yeah, and Alice is like telling Dale that she wants to be with him and how she hates her life with Derek, and but Dale's like, no, we have to end this, but she won't give up. So he's like, oh, look at that whale, and then he runs away, and that was then it transitions to like a dinner, and that
Yeah,
is
this
that the
is
same for
six
you?
months later.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if it was the same for you. So they're at a dinner and Derek's like telling a story, but then Robert cuts him off and he's like, Derek, we talked about this. Like, gotta give space for Dale and Brennan. So Dale and Brennan have a karaoke business and it's doing really well. They're in, I think, like 9 bars or something, and a ton more want them.
Mm-hmm.
And then their dad says that he has a surprise for Dale and Brennan, and he leads them out to the backyard with like a blindfold on. And we see that he transformed the boat that they crashed into a treehouse. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
We also see that Brennan is dating the therapist from before.
yeah.
Yeah. So then the credits play, and it shows a scene of Brennan and Dale beating up their elementary school bullies.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Really? Oh my gosh.
I I heard there was like commentary kind of in it, and it was like Dale asking Brennan if he actually touched the drum set.
Yeah, that was at the end of that scene.
Huh? I didn't have that scene at all. It was just that. Maybe they didn't want to show kids getting beat up.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so now that the movie is finally over,
I'm ready for my question.
my question to you is, okay, out of the two of us, who is Brennan and who is Dale?
Ooh. I don't know. I think. Well, I don't know. I'm like thinking maybe you're Dale. I feel like you don't want to be either of them. There's like not a good choice either way.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember why, but I had you as Dale and me as Brennan.
Was it the drums?
Oh, yeah, it was the drums.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's a hard one.
Okay, that was a lame
Like,
question. I can't think of anything else.
I have one for you.
You're gonna ask me a question?
Yeah.
Ugh, okay.
When are we starting our karaoke business?
Listen, we have so many businesses that you and I have to start. Like, remember our
Actually
candle?
finish.
Yeah. Remember our candle business?
That would have really hit it off.
I know.
I honestly, I think if we started a karaoke business, we could only offer one song.
Valerie.
Yes, and that would be Valerie.
How did I know you were gonna say that?
Could be fun.
One time, Isabel and I did karaoke to Valerie. It was really bad.
It was so fun though.
That was one of the most fun experiences I had in Australia.
Yeah, we all went bowling, and there was like a karaoke rooms in the bowling alley too, which is fun.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. Now we can't do anything. If you want to be featured on our podcast as the winner of our Guess the Movie contest, make sure to follow us on Instagram at How Have We Never Podcast, and also follow us on Facebook at How Have We Never Seen This Before. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, congratulations, you've made it to the end of our podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening. How Have We Never Seen This Before is produced by Isabel Barone. The music is by Scott Holmes. The podcast art is by Michael Beaumont over at Monitor Comics, and our social media is run by Lauren Cola. Thanks for listening.